we stop, we gon' get it done. Get it when we start, we gon' get it done. Start when we stop, we gon' get it done.
Anthony's World.
What's going on, everyone? I'm Anthony. You know me as Anthony's World. Back, Living Icon podcast, starting to blow this up. And we got this man right here. I'm not even going to pretend to be able to pronounce his last name. We'll put it somewhere just so you can see, because this always happens to me. It's bad, but we got the Wojo. The Wojo. I love the Jason Wojo. He's the CEO and founder of Jason Runs Your Ads. He hit 30 under 30. Super fucking epic. How are you doing?
Good, man. Appreciate you having me.
And man,
That's
I
dope.
appreciate you coming on, man. Man walked up in the fresh Nikes, and I was like, damn, the Nikes are badass, dog. I love it.
I literally just got these last week.
Yeah,
I've been getting
just for the
sneakers
podcast,
lately.
right?
Yeah, just for the podcast.
Yeah.
A couple of things too.
I love, I love that, man. You good though? You living? You vibing? Thriving?
Yeah, dude.
How-
Honestly, good. I've been focusing a lot on my headspace
Yeah, it's
recently,
important.
and those are things that like we'll talk about. I don't know, like the rush of building a business and making money. Sometimes we kind of lose track of like who we are.
And you forget like what you're actually
Yeah.
what you're actually building and what you're actually going for. Because sometimes I actually think this was a really recent thing for a lot of entrepreneurs. Because I actually kind of did the same thing. I went through like during COVID, like grind, because I thought the world was gonna fucking end, or basically, and then it was like grind. Gained weight, got overweight, like mental health was not necessarily off or bad. It just wasn't all the way there. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And I feel like after COVID like really ended, I feel like there's been a huge shift, especially in men, in the way they've changed.
Yeah.
Have you seen that too? Well, because we're
It's-
in the entrepreneur space though.
Yeah, and it's very like, alpha.
Yeah.
And all the content you see online, all the short form
It's very
stuff, like
too
they're pushing
alpha-y.
it. Yeah,
Too
yeah.
alpha-y.
It's overdone because there's a lot of structure that needs to be made in a man's life to actually like solidify that.
Yeah.
And also like you talked about COVID, dude, that blew up my business, and it
Yeah.
intrinsically made me realize a lot of the things that were kind of like limiting beliefs or false beliefs about money, and that was interesting.
I love all those.
Yeah.
Like the money's not real conversations.
dude.
Those are my favorite. It's like one of the first videos that I made that went viral.
Yeah.
Was money's not real.
Well, it's always good hooks like that. Like, dude, I made a video where I was like, stop going to the gym. And, dude, it blew up. It got like 800 million views on it across Reddit and all these platforms.
That's epic.
Dude.
Yo, Reddit? Are you big on Reddit? You like Reddit?
I mean, I've never really used it until I found out about that video. And,
Really?
yeah, I mean, I never used it, yeah.
That's something I've been
I
actually
thought it
looking
was like
into.
the dark part of the internet that no one went to.
That's what I thought too. I didn't know, but like, and then now all of a sudden, like I'm on like Reddit. Like I'm not on Reddit, but like I see all this other like I type in like how to do this, and like the first thing that pops up on Google is Reddit now. And
Oh,
I'm like,
yeah.
oh shit,
All the
Reddit
forums. Yeah.
Reddit must be something popping. We need to look into Reddit, guys. There's a new social media out called Clapper. You heard of that one yet?
Clapper. That sounds like it's got a double meaning.
It does, doesn't it? But no, apparently it's the Snapchat for adults. Not Snapchat, TikTok for adults. And it's like starting to get bigger and blow up.
That's interesting.
Yeah, and so like it's more of like short form content like TikTok that's not just dancing and teeny bopper shit.
Okay.
It's like more like educational
I'll have
and
to look at that with my
yeah,
team.
that's
I did not even know about that,
I
honestly.
just found it not like a month ago, and apparently it's starting to blow up. So something to look into.
Yeah.
There you go. There's a tip for you. I love it. So just tell them real quick a little bit about yourself. How old are you? Where you from? Where you live now? What do you do?
Yeah, so I'm 25, about to turn 26, and I am originally from New York, Newburgh area, which is right outside of like Westchester County, Orange County area. I grew up there for 18 years of my life, and right now I live in St. Pete, Florida, which is right outside Tampa.
I love St. Pete.
Yeah,
We almost moved to St. Pete.
It's a nice area. It's just that, I've been there for about a year and a half, 2 years now. I did live in Tampa at one point, which is the downtown area, and that was for about a year. But St. Pete is, I honestly think, more for like retired people.
It's
There's a lot
low
of-
key. It's low key, but it's
Yeah.
also. I mean, I like being low key sometimes. I like being low key, not being in the rush of the things. But I got 2 kids. So
Do you really?
Yeah, I have 2
Oh,
kids. So
wow.
like being in the rush of things, like being in like Miami or being in like Tampa, sometimes it's like, oh, this is a little too much for me.
Interesting.
Yeah,
And then, I've been doing this for about 4 to 5 years now.
love that.
I got into it. Damn, that story's crazy. Basically, like, I was making these videos on Instagram 4 or 5 years ago, doing motivation for college students.
Were you in
And
college or were you out of college?
I was in college. I went to culinary school for a year, dropped out, then went to business school.
Culinary school.
Dude.
I got a fork and a spoon tattooed on me because I love cooking.
Dude, I literally went for a year.
Passions.
Yeah, and then like there was this guy who came for a conference, and he was like, "Yeah, like as soon as you get out of here, you're gonna make $15 an hour, and you're gonna struggle." And I was like, "All right." And then right after that conference, I called my parents, and I was like, "Yeah, I really don't think this is gonna work out." I just like moved back in, and they let me move back in, and then I went to business school. I was making these videos online. A clothing brand like picked it up, and they sent me free stuff. And I was like, oh, dope. Like I'll make some free videos because I was still a kid. I was still working at Staples. I was working at a financial firm. Like I was broke. I was making like $800 a month. I had no idea what money was.
Yeah.
And then I made the videos for them. They wind up being like their best performing ads. And I didn't even know about ads at the time because Greg was just like, he was the owner. He was like, dude, like I'm going to send you more stuff because these outperformed everything else. And I was like, and these ads were really simple, by the way. And 5 years ago, you didn't really have to be good at ads.
Yeah.
You could just put some random thing together, throw it up, and your CPMs were low, and everything was easy to run. And, you could run free plus shipping offers back then. You can't do that now.
I remember that.
And, he wound up
So free
inviting
plus
me for
shipping doesn't
lunch.
work anymore?
Free plus shipping's hard, man. You got to have a lot of upsells, and you have to have a high AOV.
What's that dude's name? Like Adrian or something like that? Didn't he he was like the first one that did it and then fucking... I think his name was Adrian. I don't know.
Yeah.
I could be wrong.
So like usually you'll do like $8.99 for shipping. They get the product for free, and then you're trying to get them to upsell and like take them to some type of like subscription or other products that are more of the same. I mean, it's kind of tough now. That's why you see more low ticket offers now, where it's not free shipping. It's like, hey, pay $9 for an ebook, pay $17 for this starter kit, pay $27 for this mini course. It's more low hanging fruit. But yeah, and then like I got invited to go to lunch with him. He offered me $4,000 a month to make videos, and I was like, holy shit, dude, I'd never seen $4,000 in my entire life. I was broke. So then I started doing the videos, and then I got flown to Atlantic City for a couple months, lived with a soccer team. Dude, it was like so many crazy things that I was doing, and then like I wasn't even making that much money. I was just so confused. I was overwhelmed, and I had a money block, just like a lot of people have. Like you get thrown that amount of money, which is not a lot now, but it just it
How old
makes
were
a
you?
huge
18,
difference.
19, 20?
I was 19.
Yeah, 19. If you're making, I mean, that's good bets, yeah.
And then after that, he sold the company, and then I went out on my own. I moved to Orlando because I had money saved, and then that was it. And then I started my own agency, and I was doing the thing that I was doing for Greg for other people, and then that's what it is now.
Love that. So do you what is your main focus in your business? Is it actually running ads or is it content ads? Like, is it like finding influencers? Are you more of that? In which space are you more in, or is it equal?
So like we really focus on like 4 really important parts, and I say it in all my ads. So like the first thing that a lot of people don't realize when you're running ads is that no one actually cares about the ad. I know that sounds completely ass backwards, but your ad doesn't need to be sexy unless your offer is good. If your offer sucks, then it doesn't really matter what the creative is. Your cost per click is still going to be really high, and you're still going to have to pay more for the same customer. So if your offer is like really, really enticing and it has a good guarantee, has a good results-driven claim, and you're able to have the right copy and messaging, then your creative can be trash. My best ad is literally a video of me with a pimple on my face, no copy at all. If you ever see it, it has like text from Instagram story, and it's on the feed, and it's literally no copy is in it. And I just say, hey, are you running ads? There's a water fountain behind me. I look all like, honestly, I look like shit. I got out of bed in the hotel, and I was like, dude, that water fountain's pretty cool. I should film an ad in front of it. And I filmed the ad, I posted, and dude, it's been my highest ROAS ad to this very day. And there was nothing in it that was crazy sexy or that was a lot different. It was just...
What was the offer?
It literally was just like, hey, if you're running ads, like, I'll grow your business in 90 days. If I don't, you don't pay. And that was basically it. And I was like, hey, we'll run this, we'll do your landing pages. And that was all the offer was. And for some reason, it looks like an organic post, so people stop on it. And a lot of the comments, if you check the comment section, people are like, pimple-faced fuck, like, why would I trust somebody to run my ads if he has a pimple on his face? Just so everybody realized I did this shit on purpose.
Yeah.
Because I knew. I was like, wait a minute, should I shave? And I was like, no, fuck it. I'm just going to record this and post it and see that all the comments will drive the ad up.
Yeah, I've noticed that when I post something super controversial, it gets a lot. It gets a lot more love than it gets hate, but the hate drives it up even more.
Yeah.
Crazy. So I mean, that just shows you, like, I truly believe, and that's something like I used to think, like, in the business world, like I had to like make everything perfect, and now all of a sudden, like, nothing is perfect.
Yeah.
Like I'll just pop my phone up, and I'll just
Yeah.
start talking, and that's what's going.
And that
happening.
always converts the best. Like a lot of people who don't want to start a business or don't understand what money's like and don't want to get anything off the ground, the reason why is just because they think that it has to be perfect. They have
Yep.
this preconceived notion about what things should look like and this like false reality. It's crazy.
Epic. I love it. I love it. So you've been in the industry. You said 5 years, right?
About 5 years, yeah.
4 to 5 years. How long did it take you to make your first six figures?
My first 6 figures took a lot longer for me because I had a lot of money blocks.
What do you call a money block?
It's just people get this feeling that making more money will make you a dick. And they think that, when they're kids, it depends on how they were brought up or their childhood traumas. But they realistically think that if I make more money, I'm going to leave my parents behind. I'm going to leave my friends behind. I'm going to feel terrible. Like, people are going to look at me differently. They're going to think that I'm greedy or that I'm scamming people or whatever that preconceived notion is. But it took me about 2 years to make my first 6 figures.
Okay.
Because the first year I was in business, I think I made like 60,000. Then the next year after that, I made like 600 grand. I had a very insane year after that.
So like crazy. Yeah.
Yeah,
Epic.
and that's when I got past the block because in February of that second year, I hit 100 grand in the business. And then once I hit that mark, I was like, oh, if I can make 6 figures, I can make 7. And then I just went on a rampage the rest of the year.
How long did it take you to get to your first 6 figure month?
First 6 figure month was about 3 years in. And that was actually, no, it wasn't 3 years in. That was actually in October. And that's when I released my ad templates offer. So I ran a low ticket offer that was $17, and I gave people 100 ad templates. And I was like, hey, like if you are running a business, just copy and paste winning ads that I've ran for the past 2 to 3 years, and just copy and paste them into your business. Take winning behaviors, see what works, and just reverse engineer it for yourself. And that offer, I ran it in October, did really well, and then literally January of the third year that I was in business, I went from we were pushing, like that offer I made like 20K a month on. The agency was already making money, but the low ticket made about 20K a month. The next month after that, I got a credit line from Amex, and I ran up a bag. I made like 600 grand that next month. It was fucking wild. And I ran a bunch of front-end traffic to it, got a bunch of back-end clients. Then I had to start hiring and building a team. I got thrown into a lot of shit randomly. Like, it was just like all over the fucking place.
I've noticed that a lot of people have this problem. It's very, very slow, and then it boom, and then and then you stagnate, and well, not stagnant, but you stay there, and then it goes boom, and then you stay there, and then it like boom, like I've been in so many different situations where it's like, oh, you're making 50K a month, and then boom, 100K a month, and then you're stuck there for like 3 or 4 months putting all the work in, and then it goes boom, doubles 200 grand a month, and then you're stuck there, and then it's like 400K a month, and it's really cool. I've noticed that's a huge trend, and I think, and it's the overnight success story after 5 years.
Yeah.
After you put the work in, and then you become the overnight success story.
And that's
really
like
cool.
that's like a big like misconception too in the niche is like when people are trying to build a business, they're like, oh, if I'm making 10 to 50K a month, they have some sort of ego of getting this thing off the ground, but they don't realize that like, and I hate to say this, but like making 10 to 50K a month, it's honestly not a lot of money. Because in order for you to go from 50K to 500K a month, you have to be a completely different person, and most people can't move into that sector. And they just don't have the leadership role. They don't have the right personality, the right tonality. Like, they're not somebody who people want to follow. And it's very hard to build a team around you. Because people are like, oh, I'll just hire people and they'll take shit off my plate.
No.
And I'm like, dude, you have to literally have systems and processes and like so many things in place. So it's just very interesting because people say they want to make more money, but they don't actually have the traits to do so.
And I will say like this, like something that we've learned recently is that we're very good. So like me, Nick, and Q, we're very good at what we do, and we're really good at getting companies from 0 to 50 million, like a year, 0 to 50 million. We've done it multiple times. It's been really good. It's been really fun. But getting past that, that's not us. We know that's not us. So what we've recently done is searched and seeked out people that are really good at going from 50 to 100 million, 200 million. And like that's what we realized. So we had to learn our roles and say, okay, we're really good at creating. We're really good at launching a new company. We're really good at bringing people in. We're good at bringing reputation. We're good at bringing hype. We're good at marketing. That's what we're good at. But like I'm not organized enough to go from 50 to 100 million, 20 million to 100 million. Like that's just not me. So bringing those people in, and what we did is we hired from the top. hiring CEOs for companies and placing them in place, and then letting them build their team.
Yeah,
And
yeah,
like that's
talent.
really
Talent's
helped
been a
us.
huge piece for us too.
It's hard.
It's the hard, yeah.
It's
Because right now, people honestly, like, I hate to say this too, but people are fucking lazy. They don't want to work.
Who
Dude,
you
talent's hard. People will raise their hand. They're like, yeah, I could do this, and you put them in the ecosystem, and they're just dumbasses. And it's like,
You realize, I think, when you start running a business, you realize that 99% of the people are not successful because it's not because they don't want to be. It's simply because they just don't put the work in, and they're not willing to learn. Like, people are really not that fucking smart. Common sense is not common sense.
oh, dude, I had experienced that like this morning. We had a meeting internally, and we hired this new person, and we sent her an email and a password. She's like, what is that, a login? I'm like,
No,
no, it's not a login, actually.
It's your bank account.
It's an encrypted fucking code. I don't know what to tell you. Like, just little things like that.
Yeah.
I look at that, and I'm like, what happened to you? Like, what?
Like people don't have the common sense anymore to go from that big. I love that. So well, I don't love it, but I love that other people are realizing it because I've seen it a lot. So how many businesses have you helped scale to 6 figures now?
Jeez. To 6 figures, I think it's like 1,320.
Damn.
Somewhere near that, yeah.
Epic.
Because honestly, making 10 grand a month with ads, that's $300 a day. That's really not that hard to achieve.
Epic.
7 and 8 figures is a lot harder.
Yeah.
Because most businesses will cripple before they make the 80 to 100K a month. We've done that 56 times now.
Okay, what is the difference? Like if you can point out one key factor in the difference of scaling a company to 6 figures, then to scaling it to 7 figures.
6 figures is proving the concept, right? And then 7 figures is scaling upon that and building systems, and that's where everybody cripples.
Okay, so
like you can sell a high ticket product, right? Let's say you sell a high ticket program for $5,000. You sell 20 people a month. The problem is that no one knows how to service 20 people a month that are high ticket, that are paying for something. What does that customer journey look like? How is that mapped out? And how do we actually make more money off those customers? And how do we keep them?
Yep.
So like there's so much more that's involved, and most people just want the one-off unicorn, because making 100 grand a month to some people is like massively scary.
Yeah.
If you are used to making a couple grand a month, and then we give you $15,000 a month, you now want to fucking stop and chill. Most people do that. They're like, yo, I got 2 kids. I just need 15 grand a month. Just give me to 15K a month.
And they're happy with that?
And they're happy with that. And then you say to them, yo, let's make more money. I don't want to keep my credit score where it is. I don't want to get a credit line. I don't want to do this. And it's just like, but you got into this game for a reason.
Yeah.
I don't know. I think.
Do you feel like now with your company and your scale, are you starting to like have to almost take over these companies?
Oh yeah, a lot of it's mental and psychological. Like
Crazy.
I'm looking at partnerships right now to find, because we have the revenue for it. I want to get like a psychologist on staff, and like upsell that as a service to clients. Like, hey, just get 1 call a week and like completely take your childhood traumas and throw them in the fucking trash. And I feel like that's a huge thing that we need to do with the clients, because some of them, they'll be making $50,000 a month, 100 grand a month. They're like, oh, my margins are lower. I'm like, that's how it works.
Yeah.
Like, you're not making 10K a month anymore. Yeah. You're not spending $50 a day on ads. You're spending $1,000 a day on ads now, because you got to pump more people in the pipeline, increase lifetime value. And they're like, how do I track all these numbers? And it's like, yeah, you need help. Like,
yeah. Why don't you? Have you ever thought about just going in and taking equity in companies and just?
So I've done that a lot, but more in the med spa niche. Med spas are huge. I've been looking into the med spa. I just bought 3, so we're doing that right now because those are high margins. And women are always going to want shit done. They're always going to want to keep up with the Joneses and get things done to their face and all this other crap just to look cool on Instagram.
It's crazy.
So,
well, I love that's crazy. I'm learning a lot actually. It's cool. It's cool. I get to sit down with people. I get to learn. That's why I fucking do this. I hope that everyone else learns. And if you're learning, please make sure you're liking, commenting, and subscribing, and sharing these fucking videos so we can keep spreading the word. So, all right. And so that's the big key differences. So, what are some things that you've had to learn and adapt to? Because you said you went through a lot of mental blocks. What helped you overcome those mental blocks or money blocks to go from 6 to 7 figures for yourself personally?
Big thing for me was actually just like spending money.
Okay.
I had a different course, which was like, because my parents were very frugal about money. Like every single Friday, my parents would get bills in the mail, and they'd be like, oh, fuck this, we got to make more money. Like my dad would get really mad at the dinner table. And I saw that when I was a kid, and I was like, he just doesn't like to spend money. And I think for some reason, I hooked onto that. So when I started making, a decent amount of money, I was like, you know what, fuck it. Let's go buy a car. Let's go buy a Rolex. Let's
Have
go buy
something
dumb
fun.
shit.
Yeah.
And that held me accountable to make more money. A lot of people are like, oh, like, you know, set your business up to be predictable. That requires accountability. And the only accountability that I ever got was just spending money on dumbass shit. Like, that was it. And I was like, dude, I have to pay that every single month. Like, I have to pay for this thing.
Yeah. I'm a very big believer in that. Like, my term is put your back against the wall. Everyone's heard me say it. You put your back against the wall, you'll make more money. I literally have a video, and it was like, I realized that people don't take what I say, like, they take it very literal. I had a video, and I literally was like, yes, you should put yourself in fucking debt. Is like what I said, but I was more of like, put yourself in the back. But in the back, when everyone was like, you're recommending people go in debt, that's like so wrong. And I don't mean it like that, but what I mean is like, you should put yourself in situations like, if you're paying $1,000 for a car note, trade it in and get something that's $1,500 a month. Because at the end of the day, you're gonna figure out how to make it to pay for it. You'll figure it out.
There's that gap. There's that window where it's like you're used to spending X amount of money, and you hear all these people when you're a kid and you're younger. They're like, "Oh, my car payment's $300," and then you meet somebody and they're like, "Yo, I'm paying $4,000 a month for my car," and they're like, "What the fuck did you just say?"
Right.
So like that is where you kind of just like change your perspective a lot more. I don't know, those things that I just really had to learn the hard way too, like having all those bills and having higher rent and like.
Well, we were talking about watches before. I challenge you to buy a more expensive watch now. Then.
Oh my god.
You said I don't want to spend this. I challenge you. Go buy a more expensive watch now. I'll buy one with you if it makes you feel better.
Oh my god. The only one that I would want is that Royal Oak AP.
I know where one is right now. We can go after this video.
Oh
You
my
buy one, I buy
God.
one.
What, like
Same
80?
time. 80, between 80 and 200.
I guess we'll have to say. Fuck. This
You
man.
wanna shake on it? Okay, we're gonna do it together. We'll make a cool
my
video.
God.
When you buy it, I buy one. I'll buy one with you.
Jesus. I
But
just
like,
got suckered into that shit.
but it's the truth. It's
Like,
the
dude,
truth.
I love watches. Like, I have a
And
couple.
I get your concept though, where you're like, I
Yeah.
would never spend that much money on a watch. But then like you get invited to conversations that are a little bit differently when you start wearing the watch. Your networking becomes a lot more. Like when I started wearing really high end watches, because I was the same way. When I started making like 6 figures a month, like I bought my most expensive, my first expensive watch, and it was like $30,000. And I was like, well, I'm never spending more money than this on a watch. Blah 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 blah. And then like I found a watch that I really really loved, and it was a platinum, the Tiffany blue platinum Rolex with the baguettes.
That's nice.
With the baguettes, and I was like, "That's my dream watch." And I was like, "But it's so much," And then I bought it, like as a pressure to myself, and then I ended up getting the other Tiffany blue platinum Rolex, the Daytona, and then and then I got the AP, and then like now it's like I can't have a watch that's not crazy anymore.
I feel like the next watch after that is gonna be like one of those weird Pateks that are like antiques that are like $2 million.
No, I know.
feel like
I got some other watches that I want to cross off the list that are not as expensive as this. But this watch was like definitely like a reward to myself,
That's sick.
and that's how
I
you're
love
supposed to
it.
do it. So, but I believe maybe set a goal, and then you say when I hit this goal, I'm gonna buy a watch that costs more than $100,000.
Yeah.
And then that's how you do it. And because you have to reward yourself, man.
Yeah, I did it with like because when I was living in Orlando, I was only paying like $1,000 a month for rent to live in some room. And like I started making money, I was like, all right, like how are we gonna make myself more accountable? Make sure that where I live and where I work is more accountable. So I was like, all right, let's go rent a house in Tampa. We rented a house and it was like $7,000 a month, and I was like, fuck, this is about.
But
to
you figured it
suck.
out, didn't
But
you?
I figured it out. Yeah.
And then you probably made more money.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Because we were living in the house every day, and I was like, bro, it's like $200, $300 a day almost to live here.
That's crazy.
So I was like, you just kind of figure shit out. And then I got a Maserati. And then after that, I got a white McLaren. And then I got a gray McLaren. And then I got a Range Rover. Fuck, dude. Just like so much bullshit.
But the bullshit is what drives it. I
Yeah,
swear,
yeah.
like the bullshit is what drives it. Like, trust me, I've spent so much money on some stupid bullshit that I've never thought I would even want. And it helps and it motivates and it inspires me. Like I have a video, or I talked about like everyone's kids watches Fast and the Furious, right? And I literally was like, well, fuck being I don't want my kids to watch someone else fucking driving a crazy car. I want
Yeah.
I want to be their superhero in the movies. I want to be the fucking person they look up to. And so it's like, yeah, it's crazy that we buy all these cars, we do all this crazy stuff, but like, let's actually fucking become that person.
Yeah.
Let's become the person in the movies. Like why? Who says we can't? Why?
True.
Why we can't? You just gotta fucking
And
go
the
out there and do
adrenaline
it.
rush that I get, dude, I'm a psycho with my fucking McLaren. Dude.
What McLaren do you have?
I have a GT.
Okay.
And dude, when I get behind the wheel of that thing, like you just feel a certain way.
Yeah, I had a 720S
Dude, they're
for
so
a while.
nice.
I love. I miss my McLaren. I love it.
The one thing I don't like though, this is gonna be a controversial topic, is Lambos. I just
Well,
can't do
there's
it.
3 of them behind you.
I
right
know.
now.
So like the thing that someone asked me when I bought my car, they were like, "Why did you choose that?" And I was like, "I feel like every single rapper, every single person that makes money buys a Lamborghini." And I'm like, "Dude, I don't want to like be in the normality. I'm just gonna get something that no one fucking even like can see on the road that they would recognize."
Ferrari.
Ferraris are nice.
I'm a Ferrari. I'm not a Lambo guy. I don't like Lambos.
Okay, good. We're
But
on the same page.
I'm a
Yeah.
Ferrari guy. I love Ferrari. Ferrari
They're
makes
nice.
the best fucking car.
Oh, yeah.
I had a Pista, the 488 Pista, and oh my god, there is nothing like the Pista.
That's a beautiful car.
And nothing like it. So you talk about resolving 4 key parts in a business to drive success. What are they?
First is the offer. Second is what does the sales process look like? Where does that person go after they click the ad? So like your landing page, your sales process, your
Okay.
lead form, your VSL, your webinar, like what does that look like and how do you convert them better? How do you increase the conversion rate? Because if you're running ads, I don't care how much you spend per click. If your conversion rate is higher than the industry standard, then you can afford to send as many people as possible to something that's actually predictable. Third is the ads. So the omnipresence of running on multiple platforms. So if you're running on Facebook and IG, run on TikTok, run on LinkedIn, run on YouTube, run on Google, run fucking everywhere. Because the more omnipresence you have, the lower your ad cost is. And then
Okay.
fourth are the KPIs, which are like, what's your cost per lead? Average order values. What's your close rates? What's your show rates? Like the numbers in the back end that make something more predictable. Because if I know, we use Hyros to track our numbers with ads. If I know how much I need to spend to make $30,000, $40,000 a day, I can go and be like, okay, well, if we spend 183 a booked call and my show rates are 64%, and like you could literally sit there and go, okay, I have to spend blah 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 X amount a day on ads.
So basically, what you're saying is that you can then at that point you can literally just turn around and say, okay, well fuck it, put $1 million a day into it because you already know what it's gonna do.
Yeah,
You
yeah.
know what it's gonna do. And then basically it becomes not a numbers game, not figuring if it works. It becomes how much money do you want to spend to make this much money.
And then the fifth piece that I don't talk about a lot that we have been pushing is organic, which everybody's heard. I'm not going to get into the cliche shit, but if you have an organic audience, using that to fuel your paid traffic is actually like reverse engineered in a way to where you can not just get an organic following, but if you retarget video views and you retarget engagers, those are your best cost per leads, best cost for book calls. Because the first sentence they say to us on the sales call is, hey, I've been watching your videos for 3 weeks now. Like, I wanted to know, blah, blah, blah. As soon as they say that, dude, we know they're fucking close.
They're hooked. Yeah.
They are hooked.
I love that. That's something that me and Q have done very well. Is our niche, our organic niche, like our organic market is such a high reach. That's something that we've been able to really build as just our personal audience. So even with one of our companies, without any ads, like we launched a company in our first month, we were able to hit 7 figures. And our first month, organically, no ads, nothing else, just us doing videos, organic. And so that's been super powerful for us. And I agree 100% with that, is that you're able to do crazy stuff with organic.
Yeah.
And not to mention you build that relationship with them, too.
Oh, yeah. And
But
if they don't know you, like that's the thing, too. Like people will become coaches, consultants, they run service businesses, they start making, content, and they're like, oh, well, like, let me run ads now because I have the money. And I'm like, well, no one knows who the fuck you are. Like if they knew more of
if
who
I see
you
an ad of
were.
someone I don't know, I don't really support it. But if I see an ad of my friend, then I'll try and support it as best as possible.
Yeah. And it's all about
So do you
data.
think it's easier or harder to make money online now than it was in the past?
It's actually a good question.
I'm finding it easier.
I mean, I think it's easier now. The only issue is that now because the barrier to entry is so low, you're getting a bunch of idiots building businesses.
And
They're making
everyone's
bold
doing it.
claims. Yeah,
Everyone's
bold
doing it.
claims, bold guarantees.
Well,
Everybody's a jack of all trades. It's
that's why the goats will prevail.
Yeah.
The goats will prevail. The people that have been doing it for a long time, they will continue to be the greatest, and they'll continue to be the best. Yeah. There's a lot of, like we said earlier, common sense is not common sense anymore. There's a lot of dumb-ass people in the world now doing a lot of dumb-ass things. So now I think for us to be able to do what we're doing now will just prevail us in the future as well.
Yeah, of course.
Really cool, man. It's really cool. Are there anything that you're seeing in the ad space that's changing or looking for?
I mean, just a big thing that I've really been honing in on is just like tracking.
Okay.
A lot of people run ads on all these platforms, and they really can't track like where the money's going and where the money is coming in from.
So you're big in data. You're big in the data.
Dude, I fucking
That's
love
your
data.
big thing.
Yeah.
Love that.
It's huge. Because if I don't know my numbers, then I'm not going to sit in my ads manager and know what I have to spend today or know what I can spend. Regardless of business loans, credit lines, or whatever you think your usual revenue is, there's MRR, there's retention, there's churn rates, there's all these things that we need to know.
Are you looking to sell? Or are you looking to keep growing?
Yeah, so...
Because there's a difference in how you build, obviously.
Yeah.
There's a huge difference.
And that's why I'm harnessing a lot of numbers right now, because I want to sell by the time I'm 30.
Okay.
I do not want to work when I'm 30. Hell no.
That's a good goal. I mean, but do you think you'll ever actually quit?
I mean, probably not quit. I would do something more like philanthropy-wise,
Okay.
like speaking. You know,
Yeah.
I'm not trying to make $500 million because I just value my headspace so much. I don't know. It's just like I make good money
You'd rather
now.
be at peace.
Yeah, like I just want to be able to sit like on the beach in a house and have a dog running around and just like, you know, have a chef, like have shit like that and just chill out.
Do you want kids or anything?
Eventually.
Eventually.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But it's like, you know, like when you're making all this money and you're doing this shit, making money's boring. It's the same shit every day. Like, and a lot of people don't realize that because they're not making money, and then they start making it, and they're like, dude, this is boring.
They thought it would fulfill them. I went through a phase of my life where I thought making more money would just fulfill everything that I wanted and needed. And then when I realized that it didn't fulfill anything besides almost more problems, more anxiety, more stress, people think that when you make the money, it brings less of those. No, it brings more of those things.
Yeah.
And so, like, making money, like, I get all the time because I'm a trader, right? Originally, like, I'm a trader. I hate trading. I don't love it. I'm just really good at it.
Yeah.
Just really, really good at it. And, like, so therefore, I have to actively trade to make more money.
Yeah.
But it's boring. It's not fun. That's why I do the podcast. That's why I create new businesses. That's why I travel. That's why I go see things. It's because it's just part of it.
Yeah.
And I want to make money with friends. Like, I want us to, like, you know, us, even me and you, like now, like build a relationship where we can actually do some stuff together.
Yeah, of course.
Like, go speak at events in front of people. Go teach people. Go have fun.
That's been my favorite thing is speaking at events.
Yeah.
I like that a ton.
Really, I'm actually thinking about throwing on my own event. I got a lot of big people. I can't name names yet. But I got a lot of big people asking me to do some throw on an event with them. And like we actually teach like 3-day breakdown. Like first day, like talk about like brick and mortar businesses. Second day, motivation. Third day, like actually teach people, like have people come on stage and like teach people like how to actually maybe like for you guys set up an ads account.
Yeah.
How to like run ads. And like for me, like how to set up an account with a broker. How
And
to
there's like
actually
so
trade.
many other loopholes that I know about like bypassing Facebook.
Love that.
Like I don't know if you guys use agency accounts. Do you?
I don't know.
Do you?
I don't know. No.
Yeah, so like, dude, there are
Taking notes?
there are so many loopholes that I know. There's this one guy that I know in the industry that will get me any business manager ad account that I want for literally $1,000. And
There you go.
anytime someone gets banned, I can get them back up within like an hour.
Really?
Yeah, it's fucking nuts.
Well, I
Yeah.
need you. I need
Yeah.
you. Can we talk after the
Yeah.
podcast? We'll talk after
Literally,
the
I
podcast.
I have so many loopholes for like agency accounts in Facebook. We have Facebook rep access. Page gets restricted, ad account gets shut down. Now, getting a new one is $1,000, but if you want the original one unrestricted, then it's like a lot more. But you keep your data. You get to keep
Love
the
that.
whole asset running.
Love that.
Yeah.
I love it, man. So I see. I went through your Instagram, and you have a very like no bullshit, no filter. I'm the same way. I don't have a filter. I say whatever the fuck is on my mind, however it is. I've had a lot of podcasts that Conrad's had to edit because I said some really outlandish, crazy shit that was true, but you know shouldn't really put out there in the world. How are you dealing with the world today and the negativity that comes with not having a filter?
My whole angle on it is I just want to tell people the truth. Like, if I lied to you, then I'm more of a scumbag than me just telling you the truth.
Yep.
And the
I agree.
problem is that you're only targeting a certain demo that can handle the truth. Because that's why I think, like, it starts at a root evil of all things, like marriages and relationships. Why do so many marriages fail? Right? It's because no one just wants to sit there with their partner and just tell the truth.
Yeah.
They'd rather let that shit sit, and then they wait to the last fucking moment.
Instead of talking
and then
about
they
it.
tell the truth, and it hurts more.
That's what I tell people all the time. Like just fucking get it out and talk about it. Whatever it is you want to do. Like if you're like, hey, I want to wake up and drink every day, and your partner keeps like throwing you shot, like, no, fuck that. Tell them to be honest, and if they love you, they'll stay.
Yeah.
They're gonna stay, and they're gonna have to deal with it. I
And
mean,
also
and
people
do it within
appreciate
guidelines,
it.
though. Do it within guidelines.
Yeah.
Do it within guidelines. I'm not saying go out and be a fucking complete asshole, like, and say I want this, because everyone has their own crazy selfish desires.
Yeah.
Do it within reason, but like actually talk about it and be real. And like that's something that I actually learned, I think, during COVID, like just being 100% honest, like talking about it and compromising, but also like that's on social media. I became like really just like real, real about it, and it was actually more rewarding for me now too. Like I used to like almost hate doing social media because I felt like I had to. Now it's rewarding because like everything that I say in that given moment of my life, it might sound stupid, I might be drunk, it might be a dumbass, outlandish statement, but guess what? I fucking said what was on my mind, and I said the truth.
And like the thing that I'm starting to see too is that with all of the creators out there making bold statements, people will really shit on you for a little bit. And I'm starting to get comments now where people are like, I'm actually starting to warm up to this kid.
Yeah.
And like they start to warm up because they're starting to realize that what I'm saying is like really true.
Yep.
But they just don't want to.
They don't want to. They don't want to admit it. I did a video where I talked about it, and because I had like one trade that went crazy, and like I made a lot of money on this trade, and no one believed me. No one was like, everyone was like, it's fake, you're faking everything. And then like now recently, I had another video where it's like for the last 4 years, I said I've made $1 million a month for the last 4 years of my life. Every single month, I made more than $1 million, and like I never thought I'd be saying that, but like everyone's watching my videos now, and it doesn't sound real, but it does sound real because it's like crazy, because it's like everyone knows I don't give a fuck about money. So obviously me just saying it, everyone's like, yeah, he doesn't really give a fuck about money. And so now people are like, okay, this is actually fucking real. Yeah. How do you make $1 million a month? And I'm like, guys, I don't really know. I just make a lot of money and I'm just having fun with it. Yeah. You know, so like I'm all in for that. I think more people, I hate the censorship that Instagram and YouTube and everything else has done. Like my account just got fucking they removed my verification. They removed my verification.
I just got my DMs banned for 365 days.
Damn.
Because we were sending too many payment links in DM for services.
Really?
And like, because I have DM closers and stuff, and we send people payment links if they inquire. Instead of hopping on a call, just try to close them in DM. And we sent all these payment links, and they fucking banned us for a whole year.
That's crazy. Yeah, they banned me. I also said some pretty bad shit. I told one person they should fall off a bridge. I was like, dude, you're being a dumbass, but it was bad. Like I went in the other day and I read all the comments that were reported because I'm trying to like work with an Instagram guy to get a ban, and I said some shit. I was like, damn, I probably should not have said that. I was like,
I mean, like, the most messed up shit that I say to people is like, if they ask me dumb questions, I'm like, dude, you should just get a job. Like, don't run a business.
Right.
Like, you're a fucking headache. Like, just don't do this to us.
I had one comment the other day. I had a video that went viral, and I talking about my kids, and I was like, yeah, I'm doing all this other crazy shit. Like, I'd rather like be the superhero and all that for my kids. And a guy goes, there's no you in kids. And I said, but there should be a you in bitch just for you. That shit got reported and banned so fucking fast. Like, oh my God.
That's great. I love that.
Yeah, so keep it up, man. We will prevail. Dude. We will win. The real ones will win.
It's also crazy too, because when people don't like what we say,
They just ban it. They just ban it.
Yeah, but it shows you how insecure people are that they don't even like it. It's like what we're saying is not actually fucked up.
No.
It's not that bad. You know, like I just don't think it's that bad.
It's just nah. You know, maybe that's the cold heart that we have in the world that we live in, full of a bunch of weird.
But then we get people who, you know, will hop on calls at us and they're like, dude, like, I just love the way that he's no BS, like straight to the fucking point. And I'm like, dude, we need more people like that in the world.
Thank you. Yeah, I had a video where I talked about it, and all the men and dads fucking like told me I was a piece of shit and all this stuff, and all the women loved it. All the women commented, and I thought it would be the other way around. I thought all the men would be like, yeah, go out and do it. No, all the men were like hating on me so bad.
And
when
all
you
get one group to battle against another, that's where the engagement rate just flies through the roof.
That video hit a lot of fucking. It was incredible.
Like when short form content really started to really like plow and crush, the best videos were, should men pay for the first date? Shit like that gets both sides to really just clash.
Should men pay for the first date?
Dude, I do a test.
Okay, what is this test?
So I do a test with this. If I'm going on a date, okay, I will pay for the food, but if they want to do anything after, I won't pay for it. And I see what their face looks like.
Really?
I actually test them. Because if they can't pay for ice cream or the parking or something else,
Yeah.
dude, odds are it's not going to work or you have other intentions.
Yeah.
And then I have a third date rule where it's like, if you don't try to whip out your card for the main thing within 3 dates, like it's
You're not
going
gonna actually let them pay, but they attempt to like.
Oh, dude, I've literally stood up women at a restaurant. Like, I've dead ass walked out. I'm not even kidding you. So,
That's epic. That's
dude,
epic.
I make sure that no one's fucking with me because of what I have, because, like, I've had 2 relationships in the past, and they've just really tried to nook and cranny and take advantage, and I'm just really tired of that shit. Like, everybody has to work for what they want, and, you know, I don't, like, mind taking care of somebody, but in the beginning, if it seems like you're on vacation,
Yeah.
like, it's not going to be on my dime. So, like, dude, like, I went to restaurants, third date, and the bill comes and they don't move a fucking muscle. Dude, I just go to the bathroom, walk out the exit door, and leave. That's it. That's what I've done.
What if they actually can't afford to?
Then they're on their own. I don't know what to tell you. Dude, I've literally done that so many times.
Dude.
Probably over 10 times I've done that.
Yo, that's fucking epic. That's gangster. he's bringing petty to a whole new level. Bringing petty to the whole next level.
I don't know. It's just like, I think people have it too easy.
They do. No, I 100% agree with you. Society has made life so fucking easy
And,
for
like,
people.
women just think that they're entitled to shit. And I'm like, just because because think about this, you know, like, by the third date, you're only meeting up with them because of looks or a little bit of personality and you get along, but you don't actually know each other that well.
No, I agree. I agree with you.
So it's like, might as well cut the tie now and not go further. You know?
No, I agree. I mean, I 100% agree. And you know, it's been a fun conversation and topic lately because, like, I personally believe that everything is the man's fault. Like, that's just how I was always raised. Like, it's the man's responsibility. It's the man's fault, and like everything is every problem in the world right now is the man's fault. Like,
if they get past my test, dude, I'll take care of them. No problem. But if they just, like, see the shiny shit in the beginning, then I'm kind of just
it's hard
like,
to hide it. I love it though. And that's what you're supposed to do. So, other than money blocks, what is the primary obstacle that you commonly see? Because you help a lot of companies grow from 0 to 6 figures. Other than money blocks and mindset, what is the number one thing you see that's a problem or obstacle to scale a business?
talent. For
Talent,
sure.
okay.
Because when they're growing, they need to hire out, and the talent is the hardest piece.
So you're okay. No,
Like
I agree.
building the SOPs and having the right people with the right personality mapped to those things and matching it.
and to believe in your vision. Yeah,
Dude,
it's hard.
That's the toughest piece.
Love that.
Yeah.
So build the people and build your team around you first, and then that will help you scale your business even more. Love that. Love that. So you're really young. How are you managing, you know, the money and time and things that you want to do, and also running a business?
I mean, with the money, the management part is I have a couple of financial rules that I'll live by.
What are they?
So, like, if I'm going to buy anything, if I can't buy it 3 times or I don't feel comfortable buying it 3 times right now, then I'll just, like, put it on hold. Like, if I'm going to buy a house that's $1 million, am I okay spending $3 million on a house?
Yeah.
If I'm going to buy X, times that by 3. That's one of my rules. Second thing is that if you buy anything that's on a monthly basis, like rent or whatever, if you don't want to spend that 3 times too, then I don't do it. Like rent, if you're paying $3,000 a month for rent.
If you're not making $9,000.
If you're not making, well, if you don't want to spend $9,000 a month or you can't afford $9,000 a month, don't do it.
Love it.
Another financial rule is, like, every single month, what I'll do is I will take 20% of the profit and I will just chuck it in another account. And I just keep that for shit that comes up through relationships, JVs, partnerships. Hey, man, throw money here. Hey, throw money here. You want to buy this company. That money is there for strictly moves. And then the rest of the money is just like lifestyle, fucking around, enjoying my youth, because that's the time piece, which is I'm never going to be this age again.
And you're never gonna be able to do what you're able to do now, and have. I love that. Yeah, no. So I have a very good rule. I'm also very fortunate to be able to live a very good life, being able to do this. But like my monthly bills and essentially my monthly nut is never more than 10% of what I make. Like my monthly nut can never be more than 10%. So like I don't care if I'm spending $500,000 a month, as long as it's 10%. I'm good with it.
Yeah.
I'm cool with it, but it can never be more than 10%. Obviously, there's times like we're going to Europe right now where I have a savings fund account that like fun, but like I invest 30% of what I make every month. I don't care what it is. I invest it into something.
Yeah.
It
That's great.
literally could be anything. I don't like it could be. Like, I consider watches an investment. It could be something so that way I'm not holding cash.
Yeah.
I don't want to hold cash.
Yeah.
So I invest 30% a month into anything. It really does not matter one bit.
Now
what
with
it is.
trading, don't you have like a really big tax?
No, actually not in forex. They and you have to have really good
Interesting.
accountants. You have to have really good accountants. But yeah, and the way I trade and the way I hold trades and the way I do certain things, I allocate money in certain ways that I'm not really taxed that heavy because I at first I was, but now I don't have to actually pull the money out right away.
Interesting.
Because I don't need to live off of my trading anymore. So I will actually just pick a trade and I'll hold it. And like I'll hold the trade and I'll be able to then
Gotcha.
take long-term gains instead of short-term gains.
Yeah.
So I'm at a lower tax level. And then also another thing that I realized is that you can also turn yourself into a trader like on paper and then it becomes income, not necessarily investments anymore too. But then I also like hold a lot of Bitcoin and like a lot of times what I'll do is I'll take my profits and convert it straight to Bitcoin. So I'm taking my profits and converting into another investment and then just hold Bitcoin or cryptocurrency.
That's dope.
So like I said, I'm constantly investing. So like, I mean, I'm taxed on like not 30% of my income anymore now too. And then I also have a really good trust funds. I have a 3 trust fund structure.
Yeah.
I got really good CPAs.
I do the trust.
Yeah. So like you are taxed at a high level, but obviously there's ways when you start. You know, either you're going to pay someone else to teach you how to not pay taxes, or you're going to pay the government money. So I decided to pay someone to learn how to do that. I love that. It's super awesome. Do you have an online course?
I have a course, but I don't pitch it at all. It's literally in my YouTube bio. Like if not in the descriptions too of our videos. It's like a $97 like agency course for people who want to build an agency. I don't push it though. But
the only reason I asked that is because I heard today that the education industry and the course industry is $1 billion a day industry. I didn't realize that, and I don't have a course. So I'm sitting here. I'm like, damn, I must be slacking, dog.
I mean, people love to buy shit, but then never use it, and that's the problem. Like, people will go buy a course for $1,000, $2,000, even $5,000. They open it for 10 minutes, and then they just like, I got my dopamine, I'm out.
I was thinking about creating one just because of that. Like I feel like I'm just missing out on an industry. I get asked literally 10 times a day.
Well, the thing that I would do is that if you only have a course, just build a low ticket funnel and lead people into high ticket.
Okay.
Because if you don't have a course, whatever makes you the most amount of money with the least amount of effort, lead them in with something lower ticket, and at least just build an email list of buyers. Like even if it is $97
even if it's
or
an ebook,
$47,
an ebook. You're talking about ebooks or something.
Something small. They buy it, couple upsells, go to a book call, you sell them what you want to sell them on. And that's going to make you more money because you're building an email list full of buyers, not just people who are like,
love that.
Like bullshit.
Love that. Super epic. All right, I got one more question for you before I stop interviewing you, like laying the hammer down. Online business, online world, the shift that was happening right now. What's your thoughts on AI?
AI is going to cut a lot of payroll from my company, at least.
You heard it.
It's definitely going to cut a lot of payroll, and it's going to replace people. But the personal touch won't go away completely. There's still going to be business models.
You just don't need 5 to 10 employees. Now one person can do what 5 to 10 can do with AI.
Yeah. And I think that the best businesses right now to get into, which I'm trying to get into, is SaaS because of the AI revolution.
Oh, shit. We need to talk. I'm actually working on my own SaaS right now.
SaaS is a easy way to exit, have a high EBITDA.
They're very high.
And you can attach it to another business, and then you can do a double exit, and you can sell for even more. As long as it's got a parent company, that would be congruent.
Let's talk, because I'm actually working on one right now. Our tech team is building our own SaaS. We are obviously our own CRMs as well. Mm-hmm. And then I have a friend of mine that built his own AI software that doesn't have the limit that like ChatGPT does. And he's actually willing to partner with us too, so we can put AI inside of our own SaaS program, so it can help you build. We should talk about that.
Yeah,
That'd be fun.
Of course.
Hey, maybe we do some business together. Make some money. I love it. Real quick, where can everyone find you?
So I'm on Instagram at the Jason Wojo, YouTube Jason Wojo, LinkedIn.
Can you say your last name real quick?
It's Wojciechowicz. It's Polish.
Okay.
But dude, it looks so freaking long that it's so hard to pronounce.
Re-say that?
Wojciechowicz.
Wojciechowicz.
Yeah, you got it. That was it. Yeah.
Oh shit, I can see
it. It doesn't. Yeah, once you say it, doesn't sound as complicated as it looks.
No, there was like 17 letters in that motherfucker.
Yeah, it's 13. Yeah, it's 13.
Yeah, okay, I was exaggerating, but I wasn't that off.
Yeah.
Yeah, I love that. So I always ask this. This is something very important. This camera to the left. look straight into its eyes and its soul, into the audience that we have here, and in 1 or 2 sentences, give something inspiring, motivational, and educational.
If you're looking to build a business right now, the most important thing you have to realize is that it's not going to happen overnight. There's no such thing as overnight success, and you have to spend money to make money. So many people in the space right now do not want to spend money to make money, and they've crippled themselves, and they have money blocks, and the best way for you to get past that is getting the proximity to the right people, have the best environment possible, and put your money where your mouth is, because if you want to make a lot of money, you have to spend a lot of money.
Love it. All facts, dropping bombs. I love it. I love it, man. Well, I appreciate you coming on. Thank you.
Man.
Thank you so much. We're going to put his, in the bio, we'll put his Instagram, his website, everything about him, so you guys can give him a follow. Once again, please make sure you're commenting, liking, and sharing, and make sure that notification bell is turned on, because you want to be notified every time we drop a podcast. But other than that, thank you guys so much for watching, and thank you for participating,
Yeah,
and thank you for coming on, and let's keep having fun.
Yeah.
Peace.
Start when we stop, we gon' get it done. Get it when we start, we gon' get it done. Start when we stop, we gon' get it done.
Anthony's world.